Hi, my name is Siti Sabrina binti Muhammad HANAFI.
Hi, my name is NURMAIZIERAH binti ROHAIZAD.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is YASMIN binti AZMI.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is NAJIHAH binti SAMAT.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is ATHIRAH binti SHUKOR.
We are from JBC 2424A. In this video, we will list down the possible risks that might be faced by the companies in the construction industry. Safety hazard in construction site. What is safety hazard? Safety hazard is classified under pure risk. It is occurred when a construction worker is injured during working time. It is crucial because workers always exposed to hazard to complete the task. There are many causes that are related to safety hazard risk. Firstly, construction workers are exposed to work at height, especially in the process of constructing a multi-story building. Secondly, it may cause by body stressing of a worker that is resulted from lifting heavy loads. Thirdly, falls, trips and slip that can cause a serious injury to a worker. And lastly, directly contact with electricity that may lead to the electrocution may cause in a safety hazard. Moving on to the effect of safety hazard. If an employee ignores the safety precaution, the company might firstly increase the number of injury and death at construction site. Secondly, company can suffer from a reputation damage. And next, company must undergo legal consequences that have high costs, hefty fines and jail sentence. Lastly, productivity of a worker will decreases and the turnover cost will increase. Our suggestion for takaful products of safety hazard risk is Ikhlas Contractor All Risk Takaful. The product is offered by Takaful Ikhlas. The purpose of this product is to provide protection on a construction project in the event of unforeseen accidents. The company will issue the payment of losses or damage after being satisfied that repair or replacement have been complete.
Construction can be defined as any exposure to possible loss as they are facing a lot of risks, including natural disaster. Since natural disaster is an unexpected event, people become more aware and understanding of the risks that they are facing in construction activities. Here, there are three causes of why natural disaster is getting worse when it happens at construction building. First is standard and procedure are not followed SOP. If standard and procedure are not created properly and applied in effective ways, the effect of natural disaster will be more intense and difficult to control. Secondly, as they do not have a safe place on construction site. If they do not have a proper safe place to protect themselves, it will result in a lot of cost to consume as the site manager have to pay consumption for workers and losses in raw material. Thirdly, every construction building should allocate code elements such as technology that can detect earthquake to ensure that the building is in a safe condition or not. If natural disaster happen and the building code is not applying, the workers cannot alert with the potential hazard and hence the effect of the problem will lead to the serious damage. Fourthly, site manager may provide personal protective equipment PPE but other safety facilities such as guidelines for workers if natural disaster happen and emergency supply kit are not installed comprehensively. Therefore, it has the potential to inflict significant damage, resulting in costly repairs, compensation to the workers, and likelihood of losing machine and other properties increase. The effect of natural disaster in construction building is a lot of cost will be consuming by the construction company as they have to rebuild the building back and replace the raw material that have been broken due to the natural disaster. Secondly is low productivity. The terrifying accident occurrence and the sight of damaged construction building have a negative impact on the workers' morale and productivity. A trauma seeing other workers injured and death can make them more awareness about natural disaster and certain of them may stop working. Lastly is lower reputation. The reputation of a corporation is one of its most precious and important assets that contribute to its success. A delay in construction project due to the natural disaster can influence the company's value. Here, there are two suggestions of product takaful. First is Zurich Essential Fire Takaful. The Zurich Fire Takaful is specially designed to cover losses and damages to your property. This takaful is the tariff product which provides a coverage for property and its content. By extending the certificate, the coverage can be covered a lot of perils such as storm, flood, and many more. The coverage is based on the cost of repairing the damaged property or replacing it with a property that is equivalent in condition at the period when the loss happened. Secondly is Takaful My House Owners and Householders by Takaful Malaysia. This Takaful provide protection homes, buildings and its contents. The coverage also widely used by the type that offered by Takaful Malaysia, such as fire, explosion, earthquake and many more. The coverage can be covered is flexible, which is the total amount covered for the damages based on the loss that had incurred but not exceeding the property value.
One of the potential in construction sector is issue with subcontractor and suppliers. Subcontractor and supplier are two main vendors in this sector. Issue with the subcontractor and supplier is under speculative fees. Subcontractor assign goods and services while supplier are only provide material to the construction. Costs on how the issue with subcontractor and suppliers occur. Firstly, the scope change and unclear. The construction development of scope begin early in the planning process on what exactly do you want to construct, renovate or repair. If the scope of the construction change suddenly, it will affect them. Besides, the cost of material increasing also can be the problem to subcontractor and supplier. The supplier should follow the budget that the owner, the company give. The factor of issue the subcontractor and supplier is total material unmatched with the total number of material ordered. In order to have a good quality and strong building, the company have to ensure that the measurement and dosage of the material is correct. According to the causes of the issue between subcontractor and supplier, there are a few effects that will occur because of the issue. First and foremost, the construction project will be delayed because of the scope of the project shape and reworking the design. All of this lead to project delay with only 12% of the project finishing within 10% of their original deadline. Other than that, the other effect of the issue with the subcontractor and supplier is underpaid and unpaid works. The practice of efficient and timely payment in construction project is a significant factor that can contribute to the success of a project. Because of that, late and non-payment may result in a formal dispute resolution as a result of this circumstance. Last but not least, the implication of issue with subcontractor and supplier is lowering the value of predictability of works. This result is in a never-ending project of project overruns, cost and schedule overruns. So let's define predictability. That is why problem between subcontractor and supplier will decrease value and predictability of works in construction site.
Hi, so it's me again. So I will continue on theft in construction site. As we all know, employees are a company first line of defense. Workers should be on the lookout for any sign of suspicious activity, whether from a co-worker or a client. A security-conscious company educates its employee on what to look out for. A company can also appoint a trusted employee or one employee to open and close the worksite and conduct a last-minute spot check to ensure the premises are secure. Management should document this procedure so that they can follow it consistently, as thieves are more likely to steal expensive and easily transportable equipment. But then, what are the causes? Security on construction site is an often overlooked aspect of construction project, and mostly contractors did not recognize that construction site as a natural source of curiosity. After 4 or 5 p.m., a typical construction site became a ghost town, making it vulnerable to theft and vandalism. In addition, with its universal key, lack of standardization of product identification numbers, high resale potential and ability to reuse equipment for a profitable side job, it's easy to see why this is such a lucrative and popular target for today's thief, especially when no preventative security measures are taken. However, what are the effects? Even if a smaller tooling is lost or stolen, you may not directly suffer financially, but you are left high and dry on a job site, unable to complete the project and compensate for your business day-to-day expenses. This is more than just an annoyance, as it can be crippling to your ability to complete project and receive compensation in time to pay your bills. Besides the monetary losses resulting from theft, the following associated indirect costs should also be considered, which result in costly job delay and downtime for operators. Theft and vandalism on construction site are a problem that can reduce productivity and drains profit in the commercial construction industry. Nevertheless, I have a suggestion for the business owner out there, which they have to consider Takaful product from Zurich. With Zurich, Takaful offer a comprehensive protection plan to meet the diverse needs of its customer. Malaysian Takaful product and services will provide the highest level of care and security to individuals or businesses. Zurich Takaful provide protection such as loss due to theft only if accompanied by forcible or violent breaking into or out of the premises by any person or other than your employees, loss due to armed robbery or robbery with violence, damage to property as a result of burglary, and the duration of the cover is 1 year. Furthermore, the system safeguards the occupation of the premises as a result of forced entry to live during the loss. However, before applying for this plan, business owners should consider other cover product for protection such as burglary insurance by Tokyo Marine, burglary insurance by MSIG, and many others. That's all from me. Thank you.
Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the construction sector has lost over 1 million jobs between February and March 2020, but has subsequently recovered 857,000 employment as of December 2020. Despite the improvements, the construction jobless rate has risen to 9.6% as of December 2020. According to the Bureau of Labour Statistics' most recent job vacancies and labour turnover summary data, there were 236,000 construction openings in June 2020. A key reason for labour shortage is the negative public impression of the construction sector as a career, as well as the ambiguity of construction functions, as well as the idea that a career in construction entails working 50% more for 50% less and being moved from one job site to another. Next, on the job training changes and the discontinuation of internships have a long-term influence on the skills base. When the construction sector does not contact people in the program at the university, insufficient career information is provided, which further narrows the alternatives. Lastly, construction has a reputation for having poor sales and profits, which explains why there is a resistance to raise wages. So now, I am going to explain about the effects. Construction demand will rise in conjunction with a decreasing supply of middle and senior managers. Thus, other than a growing industry-wide talent deficit, the construction industry is failing to fulfill rising demand for its services. With a higher number of unskilled workers, the quality of production is at stake, and a skills shortage is a growth risk, making the industry less appealing as a profession. The construction industry's lack of experts and managers is evident in many regions of the world, and the sector is growing increasingly worldwide. When working with new workers, consider safety as a construction project risk element. They lack the necessary knowledge and expertise to understand all of the regulations and recognize potentially dangerous circumstances on the job. The product suggested for this risk is Workmen's Compensation Takaful Insurance, where it protects employers if they are found accountable for workers who are not protected by SOCSO. This obligation might be both statutory and common law under the Workmen's Compensation Law. As an employer, they may be held responsible under common law for personal irresponsibility, failure to create a safe working environment and a safe system of work, failure to take appropriate precautions in the recruitment of competent personnel, and failure to supply adequate machinery and keep it in good operating condition.
Risk metric, which also called as a risk diagram, is a diagram that depicts risk. According to the risk metric table, safety has allocated at the third row at the first column. The likelihood is almost certain, which has high frequency. For labor shortage risk is in the orange box, and the fourth row from third column, it means that risk is major severity with is higher impact and the possible frequency. At the right side of the labor shortage, there are thief in the construction side. The scale of this risk is 3 on impact and 5 on frequency. The risk metric of issue with subcontractor and supplier is both located at fourth column and row. The scale for this risk is 4 on impact and on 2 on frequency. The natural disaster risk is high in impact. Is the orange box, is at bottom right side of the risk metric table. It means that the risk is catastrophic in severity, which is impact, and rare in likelihood.
In conclusion, it is fairly obvious that risk management is a critical tool for businesses to use in order to secure their existence. Both the contractor and the insurance company make every effort to minimize their respective risks. A mistake in judgment might be harmful to the company's survival.